But first, let's get to this young man and his opinion on YSL.
Something bizarre happened. Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, discovered via audio, might I add, a conversation between the judge, Fani Willis's office, of them plotting to intimidate witnesses. And then Steele tried to bring it up to the court, to the judge, and the judge held him in contempt. And the Georgia Supreme Court just delivered this ruling. And the reason I'm making this video on this ultra political channel, even though I don't really follow this case, is because I want to reiterate the point that Fani Willis is a corrupt weasel. She's a garbage district attorney. And I would be very sad for any person that has any level of injustice occurred to them in Fulton County, Georgia, because that woman is not to be trusted with obtaining justice for you. And that's her office. Her office is tasked with obtaining justice. And actually, this reminds me of something really interesting that Andrew posted. Fani Willis said her office would not prosecute the gunman charged with hijacking a bus and killing a man on board. Yeah. How crazy is that, guys? Utterly ridiculous. But President Trump gets, indicted over a phone call. So here's that in-court debacle. This is Brian Steele. Let's go.
Note that for purposes of the record. Well, I'm going forward. What I was told was that Mr. Copeland said, and you haven't answered my question yet. I'm not going to answer that question. You're not? No, I will not answer that question. Why will you not answer that question? Because I want to make sure that what I say is accurate, and I'm not trying to get anybody else. I'm asking you, how did you get this information? I'm not telling the court. What I'm saying is based upon information. Okay, well, listen, if you don't tell me how you got this information, then you and I are going to have some problems. We can have.
This is clearly unconstitutional. No, the judge can't do that. He can't force a lawyer to say, I got the audio of you and the state plotting, you and Fani Willis specifically, plotting. Fani wasn't in the room, but it is her office. I got the tapes of you from this person, blah, blah, blah. So the judge is shook because he's like, wait, how you know, man? How you know? It's like if you were playing a prank on your friend and you stole one of their things, and then they finally realize that thing is gone and they take it very serious. And they're like, where's my thing? Where's my thing? And they start getting angry. And you're like, I was just trying to prank, man. Except this time it's not a prank. This judge knows he's a crook.
I got problems right now.
Okay, I know. Look, I don't want to know about your problems. Okay, at this point in time, all I'm asking you at this point in time is, how did you come upon this information? Look, if the case gets reviewed, the record's going to be available for our appellate court and for whatever reason. But it's disturbing that how somehow you have surreptitiously gotten information in regards to the court's private ex parte conversations with a party. I mean,
a witness who was sworn in Friday, the court's telling, this is what I was told.
Every woman grows up dreaming of a man that's a gentleman and treats her right, except when they're in the bedroom and he's murdering the vagina. Right? I don't know what that means. I heard it in a rap song. And he just knows when to do it. He doesn't have to ask. He just sees the look in her eye, carries her to the bedroom, murders the vagina, goes and makes breakfast. They watch Grey's Anatomy all day. Just like every man grows up dreaming of a hot girl that's super cool and loves cars, but you wouldn't know because she doesn't talk. Right? And she loves blowjobs. Like to a fault. Like, get off me. I just had one. I don't know. Eat a popsicle. That girl does not exist, by the way. If she did, we'd have heard of her. She'd have bought the biggest house in the country, and she'd have paid for it just doing what she loves. Because there is nothing more valuable on this planet than a blowjob from a woman that loves to give blowjobs. Put that shit on eBay and watch it set records.
Amen. Amen.
On the flip side of that token, there's nothing more sad or awkward than getting a blowjob from a woman that's only doing it because she owes you. Just staring at it, just... I'm doing this for you. Yeah. Yeah, I can fucking tell. You ever gotten a blowjob from a woman that loves to give blowjobs? That shit lasts 90 seconds tops. You're just like, what the? And I know there's women in here right now like, you should just be happy we're doing it at all. Well, go fuck yourselves. What if we went down on you like that? Never call us again.
I don't know if y'all heard that before, so I thought I'll share it with y'all earlier. Now we're going to listen to what happened and how the judge dealt with that recusal motion.
Yeah, Mr. Weinstein. Now, finally, it has been threatened or mentioned from defense attorneys. Now, there it is. Let's listen to how gracefully Judge Glanville takes this.
Pursuant to Uniform Superior Court Rule, I believe 25.2. The court's had an opportunity to read your motion. I've also had an opportunity to take a look at, because this issue comes up a fair bit, Baptiste versus the state. I invite you to take a look at that, and that's from our Court of Appeals, 229 Georgia Appeals 691. Basically, you can't file a motion to recuse for ruling that a trial judge makes, okay? And that's what you're doing in this particular.
Here's the thing, Judge Glanville. You know what else you can't do? You have to give this to another judge. You can't make that ruling. Dave is using voice to text again. This should never comes up with an attorney trying to protect their client. Yeah. We went through this in my previous stream, how the rule, what the rules actually are. Because in criminal contempt against a lawyer, they have to weigh in the zealously advocating for your client. And did it halt the proceedings? And no, it didn't. The trial continued. So this judge really stepped in it. Hold on, I just noticed that my nicotine pouches isn't on my desk. Give me a few seconds and I will actually stop the camera for this because,
you believe
as
it?
I said, I just woke up and sat down and started streaming, more or less.
Okay, dude.
well, it's in the court. It's in the docket. So yeah, we will be reading exactly what's in Mr. Weinstein's motion for the judge to recuse himself after we listen to this.
And you're in your particular, like I would have to say something about you or your clients or anything like that, which I would never do because I'm a steward of this particular process. So I understand what your objection is, or what your statement is in terms of your motion to recuse, and I'm going to deny it.
And I believe, Your Honor, that under Rule 25.3, that you have to cease acting right now.
No, I don't.
And that you can, if I can just finish, and then I promise, if I can just finish this. I believe you have to cease acting. I believe that under 25.3, you have to look at the timeliness of the motion, and you have to look at the sufficiency of the affidavit. I do not believe that you are committed to just simply deny without taking those steps.
Is that it?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So noted.
Are you denying at this point?
I'm still denying your motion, okay?
Would you grant a certificate of immediate review?
No, sir.
Because
No, sir.
if you grant that certificate, you were always talking about how the appellate court.
No, because if I grant the certificate, it stops the case, okay?
I don't agree.
And I'm not going to do that.
I don't believe it stops the case.
I'm not going to do that.
And if
You can appeal it at the end of the case. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, I'll
And that is Judge Glanville's.
Say something. You know you don't fucked up, right?
No, I said no. I said I pulled into the garage at
You know you don't fucked up, right?
You a judge. Judge, it don't matter who told me. You know you fucked up. No. See, the problem is. See, I think you're worried about. This is what he told him, though. Hey, look. He told him to calm down, though. He told him to look. He said, I think I can fix this. He said, I think I can fix this. He said, because I think I know what you're worried about. You're worried about what was said in the meeting, and I'm gonna tell you right now that wasn't said in the meeting. That's not what was said. So I can fix this. You worried about, you think this is what happened, and that's not what happened. And if you would have listened to me, right? He said, if you would have listened to me, then this wouldn't have happened. And now you got to tell me who told you, because you may have eavesdropped and learned something you wasn't supposed to know. And what you think you know, you don't know. Shit. What you think you know, you don't know, right? You probably eavesdrop and you think you got some information, but you don't got no information. And let me tell you right now, Mr. Steele, and you don't need to worry about the meeting, the secret meeting. Mr. Steele, you don't need to worry about the secret meeting that I had about Jeffrey, who's an innocent motherfucking man who's been incarcerated and haven't been given bond. Do you understand Jeffrey Williams is innocent until proven guilty, and he's still incarcerated and he hasn't been given bond? And he's telling Brian Steele, you don't need to worry about this meeting. Then why haven't you given my client bond? You don't need to worry about this meeting, Mr. Steele, because it ain't about what you thought it was about, Mr. Steele. Yeah, I had an ex parte meeting, but I have a right to have an ex parte meeting, and you think you upset because you trying to file this on me because you think I said something in the meeting. And I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't say nothing in the meeting. And that should be good enough. Now tell me who told you, because I said I didn't say nothing in the meeting. He told Brian Steele, don't worry about what like he is a black, oh man, like he sound like a black mother, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about why I said it. Don't worry about why. Just go ahead and get rich around there and get me that out the cupboard. Rich around there, don't worry about whose it is and what it is. Rich around there and get that for me out the cupboard. Don't worry about what I said in the meeting. Don't worry about why I had the meeting. I had a right to can't get it out. I had a right to have the meeting. Don't worry about what I said in the meeting. You worried about the meeting because you think you know what I said. That sound like your mama. You worried about the meeting because you think you know what I said, but boy, you don't know what I said, boy. You think I said I didn't love you, boy. I love you, boy. I never would say that about you. Now, don't you listen to them people, boy. I know I heard the recording. I'm gonna start crying. Oh shit, I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna start crying. I heard the recording. Now listen. Now, now I know what you thinks. I know what you're thinking right now. I know that. Woo, shit. That's why I can talk this shit, because I live this shit. I know what you're thinking right now. I know what you're thinking right now. But don't never know mine. Never know mine that. I gotta hold it together because it won't be funny. Okay, I'm sorry. It's sorry. Shit. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, and never know mine that. Now, let me put your little mind to rest now. Never know mine what was said. Now listen, huh? Listen here. I heard the recording, but you and I know that this new confangled AI contraption, you heard about that AI, that confangled. Shit, I'm trying, y'all. You heard about that confangled. You heard about that AI contraption. You heard about that confangled AI contraption. Now I'm telling you, ain't nothing for you to fuss about that took place. And as far as I'm concerned, check this out. This is what Mama would do. This is what he did too. Never mind what took place. As a matter of fact, as far as I'm concerned, nothing took place. Have you you got what I need, but you say he's just a friend. But you say, oh baby, have you ever been there? I've been there, man. I have been there. Have you ever been there? And as you're hearing it, if you've been there before, you know what's coming. Don't you fret. Don't you never know mine what took place. But that's not it. The coffin nail is, and as a matter of fact, if you ask me, nothing took place. Don't you fret. Never know mine what took place. And if you ask me, nothing took place. Now, that's one thing for Big Mama to say that when we on the farm. It's a whole nother thing for a judge to say that in a Rico trial, y'all. It's a whole nother thing for a judge to say that in a Rico trial. Never know you fret. Because what happened ain't what you thought happened. As a matter of fact, nothing happened. What, Judge? Judge, you have to allow me to file this. And every judge, every defense attorney got up. You are not going to move forward in this court like nothing happened. Do you understand? I'm making a joke, but that's what he did. He did some Big Mama shit. And each of those white men got up and said, we're not going to allow you to move forward in this courtroom like nothing happened. This is a courtroom. This is the law. You want us to allow you to move forward in this case as if nothing happened. I'm making a joke. But what truly happened is a judge in a RICO case. Do you understand this is a RICO trial? a judge presiding over a Rico trial said, don't worry about what happened, because what happened ain't what you thought happened. And he was lying, because now we have the transcript of what actually was said. Brian Steele was right. And now we understand that it may have been YSL Woody who spoke to Brian Steele. That's why his lawyer was crying. Now we know why YSL Woody is firing that woman, because she misadvised him in the ex parte communication. Do you understand what took place? YSL Woody was set up by his own attorney. Why do you think he fired her? Why would he fire her? YSL Woody was set up by his own attorney. This is going to be very complicated. The problem is, like this guy said, it will take 10 years before the truth comes out. But YSL Woody wanted to fire this woman. She wanted to be kicked off the case. Remember that. Because I bet she begged Brian not to file that motion. Because what happened was, YSL Woody, Kenneth Copeland, and his attorney, that black woman who was crying, after talking to Brian Steele about what happened in the ex parte meeting, they found out that they weren't supposed to tell Brian Steele. That's why she cried. And I believe she begged Brian Steele to not file that motion and wait. And Brian Steele, in good faith, for representing Young Thug, and his only duty is to Young Thug. He doesn't have a duty to Kenneth Copeland. So, I mean, respect to you, Kenneth Copeland, YSL Woody, thank you for telling me, but I don't have a fiduciary response. I don't have an obligation to Kenneth Copeland. So Brian Steele brought the motion. And lucky for you, Woody, lucky for you, lawyer of Woody, he didn't snitch on y'all. That's why we calling him YSL Steele, free YSL Steele. Lucky for you, he didn't snitch on you. But it makes sense now, don't it? It makes sense now what happened. It makes sense why she was crying. It makes sense why Woody fired her. It makes sense on why Steele brought the motion, when and how he brought it. He didn't just have information about the ex parte meeting. He had privy information as to what was said in the meeting by people who were in the meeting. And the Georgia Supreme Court just ruled in his favor. You hear what I said? The Georgia Supreme Court just ruled in his favor.
Upon information and belief, ADA Love or Hilton informed Copeland that there were over a dozen defendants left to try. Yeah. Upon information and belief, following the above, coercive actions by Chief Judge Glanville in conjunction with one or more attorneys from the Fulton County DA's office, sworn witness Copeland stated that at the ex parte meeting that he would testify. Upon information and belief, Chief Judge Glanville also presented sworn witness Copeland with a printout of the perjury statute, a false statement statute of the state of Georgia during the ex parte meeting. Upon information and belief, sworn witness Copeland stated to ADA Hilton that if called to testify, he would simply lie on the stand. Yes, Aroris thought. This is brand new. Upon information and belief, in response to Copeland's statement that he would lie, ADA Hilton stated that he would not prosecute sworn witness Copeland if he were to lie on the stand. Do you have any idea how serious this is? This is ADA Hilton telling a witness who is sworn in under oath that you can lie on the stand if you want to. I won't prosecute you. This is, Hilton should, Judge Glanville, Hilton, Love. Those three should never be allowed to enter a courtroom ever again unless they are defendants.
I like
One,
I agree.
information and belief. Sworn witness Copeland also stated to A.D. Hilton that he would testify that he killed Donovan Thomas Jr.
Do you hear this?
That is the admission we all have been hearing about. That he confessed. Now, in the context of this, it might be that, well, if you're giving me immunity, even for lying, I might as well say on the stand that he killed Donovan Thomas. Here's the thing. We can't tell if it's a lie or if it is the truth. Neither can the prosecution. Neither can the judge. That is why this is a Brady violation. This is why the information should have been held. This is possible exculpatory evidence. This is the big central point of this trial is the murder charge, because murder does not have a statute of limitation. And if that's gone, then all the other charges, their statute of limitations apply. Selling drugs in 2014, 2015, gone. Car theft, gone. Home invasion, gone. Almost the entire Rico case, if the murder charge does not stand, is gone. And that, I believe, is why in this part of the Rico trial, the prosecution and the judge are colluding together, because they know if they get any information in front of the jury, if any information reaches the jury that somebody else confessed, it's gone. That charge is gone. And
That's the ball game. That's the whole ball game. Now you know why Peanut is at the crux of the case. The Peanut murder is what makes this a Rico and a gang trial. I said before, Young Thug's wife was murdered. YFN was involved with the murder. The only thing they got from Young Thug and YSL besides music is this event in 2014 that Young Thug is not directly connected to. This was a celebrity case for Fannie Willis. Now it's all coming apart. It's all falling down. It was a house of cards to begin with. Do you understand what this brother said? He said that Woody confessing to that murder is more than what you think. If Woody confesses to Peanut's murder, and he did confess to Peanut's murder in the presence of the judge, then that means Brian Steele should be able to cross-examine him based on what was said in the meeting and ask him, did you confess to killing Donovan Thomas? And Woody should have to be made to say, yes, I did kill Donovan Thomas. And if he confesses to that under immunity, then basically what this brother is saying that the trial is over because it's no longer Rico. The only reason they're able to use the Rico and go through these special allowances in the law is because of the murder. And if the murderer is gone, there's no longer a Rico and the statute of limitations apply and the whole case falls apart. They need the Peanut murder. They need the Peanut murder for this case to be a Rico. And it's falling apart. Now we understand why the judge is risking the whole thing, because the whole case comes down to this testimony. If this testimony doesn't go right, the whole Rico case is thrown out the window. And I bet you this was Fannie Willis is saying, and they knew this the whole time. This whole case is laying on top of Woody.
That's the entire Rico case.
The whole case.
Upon information and belief, in response to sworn witness Copeland stating to Hilton that he would testify that he killed Donovan Thomas Jr., Hilton told Copeland that she would prosecute him for perjury if he testified that he killed Thomas.
Wait.
She's not saying we will send that off the investigation, and if we find out that you are lying, then we will prosecute you for perjury. No. If you say this...
Wait a minute. So they told him you can lie about one thing, but you can't. They didn't want him to be able to say he killed Donovan Thomas on the stand. And if he says that, then oh wow, this meeting is crazy, you guys. Listen.
Without inquiring if that might be true, she was prepared to prosecute him for perjury, regardless if it is true or false. I will post a link to the document at the end of this stream. During court, the afternoon of June 10th, when one or more above allegations were presented to the court by Attorney Steele, Chief Judge Glanville denied that one or more events above relayed to him were accurate. Well, I'm not entirely sure about that. In my opinion, what Judge Glanville said or tried to avoid saying is that it's all true. That is why he focused so hard on who told Mr. Steele. The judge must cease to act and must make an immediate determination. When a trial lawyer is presented with a recusal motion and an accompanying affidavit, the judge must temporarily cease to act on the merits and determine immediately whether the motion is timely, whether the affidavit is legally sufficient, and whether the affidavit sets forth facts that, if proof, would warrant the assigned judge's recusal for the case, Mondi v. Magnolia Advanced Materials. And here he goes through the present motion for recusal. And so Mr. Weinstein took his name to this affidavit. He is now putting his bar card on the line. This attorney-client privilege in order to get this Rico case to happen. Let's continue. As the Georgia Supreme Court wrote, we need not decide whether such bias or impartiality actually existed, because judges are ethically bound to disqualify themselves whenever the impartiality might reasonably be questioned, including instances where the judge's behavior could indicate that he or she, quote, has personal bias or prejudice concerning a party or a party's lawyer. Johnson v. State. Defendants were not provided notice of the hearing either before, during, after, and regardless. Defendants should have been afforded an opportunity to attend any hearing where a sworn witness in a critical stage of the trial is being coerced to testify. The only logical conclusion to be drawn by the willful exclusion of all defense counsel from the meeting among Chief Judge Glanville, the state as sworn witness Copeland was to harass and intimidate the sworn witness into testifying. Exkommer Z for 20 Norwegian krona. Does Georgia have the death penalty? Yeah. Or appeals dismiss the appeal of the disqualification motion brought forth in the Trump Rico. Yeah, I know. That is for a separate stream where I will go over that. Respectfully submitted by Mr. Weinstein.
motion to recuse Chief Justice Glanville. I got the whole motion right here. That's what he was reading, and it breaks down what was in on Monday, June 10th, 24, a defense counsel were present in Fulton County Courthouse at 8:30. A minute interest is what they said. At 9 a.m., defense counsel was waited between 11 a.m. and 11:30. Chief Judge Campbell came to the bench and announced Copeland would be prepared to testify. Attorney Brian Steele, counsel for defendant Mr. Williams, inquired with the court as to the delay and what had occurred prior to Chief Glanville taking the bench. His inquiry was not accepted. Now, that part was left out. I didn't see that on television. Unknown to any member of defense counsel, during the waiting period in the morning, upon information and belief, an ex parte meeting was held in Chief Justice Glanville's chamber on June 10th, 2024. Among Chief Justice Glanville, 88 Love, 88 Hilton, and other members of Fulton County District Attorney Office deputies sworn witness key. So it's a possibility that Fatty Willis was in this meeting, you guys. We don't know who all was in the meeting. Fannie Willis could have well been in the meeting. That's crazy, right? No member of the defense counsel was present at the ex parte meeting, despite the subject matter of the meeting being critical phase of the trial. Check this out. Upon informant and belief, Copeland announced that he would invoke the Fifth Amendment rights not to testify. Upon information and belief, Copeland stated he would sit in jail for 2 years rather than testify. Upon information and belief, Chief Glanville informed Copeland and Chief Judge Glanville could kept sworn witness Copeland incarcerated until additional defendants were tried, not just the 6 defendants on current trial, meaning that you could be in jail longer than 2 years. Upon information and belief, 88 Love Hilton informed Copeland that there were over a dozen defendants left to try, that he could be waiting for up to years, not 2 years, but years. Upon information and belief, the above coerced actions by Chief Judge Glanville in conjunction with more attorneys from the Fulton County DA, that could be possibly Fannie Willis herself, sworn witness Copeland stated ex parte meeting that he would testify. Wow. Upon information and belief, Chief Judge Glanville also presented sworn witness Copeland with the printout of perjury statute and false statement statute of the state of Georgia during ex parte meeting. Upon information sworn, ADA Hilton that if called to testify, he would simply lie on the stand. Copeland's statement that he would lie, ADA Hilton stated that she would not prosecute sworn witness Copeland if he were to lie. Now, that's what I want to clarify. Now, listen to this. Woody said, I will just lie on the stand. 88 Hilton stated that she would not prosecute witness Copeland if he were to lie on the stand. Now, Hilton that testified that he killed Donovan Thomas. Sworn witness Copeland also stated to 88 Hilton that he would testify that he killed Donovan Thomas Jr. Okay, you following? She just said she would not prosecute him for lying, right? Then Woody says, I'm going to get up there and tell him that I killed Peanut. Under information and belief in response to sworn witness Copeland stating to 88 Hilton that he would testify that he killed Donovan Thomas Jr., 88 Hilton told Copeland that she would prosecute him for perjury if he stated that he killed Thomas. In the same breath, this is crazy. In the same breath, he said, let's go over it again. Upon information and belief, sworn witness Copeland stated to 88 Hilton that if called to testify, he would simply lie on the stand. upon information and belief in response to Copeland's statement that he would lie. 88 Hilton stated she would not prosecute him. She would not prosecute the witness Copeland if he were to lie on the stand. She would not prosecute him. Everybody see that? Can I get it the biggest? I'm going to get it the biggest I can get it. Let's get it the biggest I can get it. She would not prosecute him. Then right after that, Copeland says told 88 Hilton that he would testify that he killed Donovan Thomas Jr. In response to Woody telling 88 that I'm going to testify that I killed Donovan Thomas, she then says, I will hold you in contempt and charge you with perjury if you do so. You can't say that. You could lie about anything else, but you cannot say you killed Donovan Thomas. That's a trick bag if I ever heard one. Ex parte meeting revealed. Purpose of my podcast with the blast on your ass real fast. Hey, ain't nobody got this information. I'm the first one with this information. This brand new, hot off the presses. So shout out to that boy, Nick, who got us the information right here. This is a filing for the Georgia Supreme Court. Brian Steele got on bail. Brian Steele out on bail. Brian Steele will not be going to jail this weekend. Free YSL Steele. Free YSL Steele. Free YSL Steele out on bail, will not go to jail this weekend. Brian Steele filed an appeal to the Georgia Supreme Court. The Georgia Supreme Court agreed with Brian Steele. Brian Steele will not be going to the jail, and they will be looking at everything we talked about. This is not over. Thank y'all for tuning in. First time with the blast on your ass, coming in real fast. Salute. Out and dash. Watch my next hot video.